you've got 3 moments recorded in detail where you felt fully alive, where you were buzzing, where there was play happening in your life. And hopefully, as you've done that exercise, you are actually able to engage a bit with the memory, to perhaps see in your mind's eye some of the images, or maybe even feel some of the associations. I don't know if you noticed whether your heart rate was elevated or maybe whether you had a smile on your face, but I really hope that you've been able to engage with that in terms of your inner world and your eye space. So now I want you to compare and contrast. And what we're doing here is we're really looking for themes or patterns that connect across the 3. You may already know, it may be really obvious to you that for you, play is about other people or about sport or about creativity. But can you get any more detail? Can you ask yourself questions about what kind of sport? Is it team sports? Is it solo sports? Is it competitive sports? Do I like sports in the community? Do I like to do a park fun run? Do I like sports with my family? Do I like to be alone in the hills playing sport? What is it about your play that is unique to you and that always is guaranteed to bring that elevation that play does? And I want you to look for novel themes across the 3 experiences that you've recorded. What surprised you about them? What was interesting? What I sometimes do when I'm doing this with a client is to write down the action words, the verbs, any words that are ending with ing, so that we remove the action from the context that it happened. And we don't get too hung up on, oh, it was when I was 16, but we actually just take the pure doing words out. And in seeing them away from their context, it can be easy to pick up themes about nature or about spontaneity or maybe about formality and about having an audience. And help us just to take our minds out of the boxes that we've put them in and freeform with play. Think about novel ways to play. Think about things that would interest you that you maybe haven't considered before. Think about the question, what new self-insights could you take away from your analysis of those 3 experiences? If you were to meet the person in those experiences, what would you say about them? Take a second person perspective and reflect back on yourself, because that will open new insights for you. We become so familiar with ourselves, and familiarity can lead to blindness. And so this new engagement with you as you have been in play throughout your life will give you opportunities to see things differently. Ask yourself the question, who would I be if I made play more of a focus in my life? That can be a really powerful way to reimagine self. Who would you be if you played every day? Who would you be if you played every week? When you've drawn just 1 or 2 new insights from this exercise on play, I want you to invite you to turn it into a moment of commitment. This is a moment when you turn and face yourself and consider the implications of what you've been learning about yourself. Do you need to say sorry to yourself for the ways in which you've thought play too beneath your interest or too frivolous or too much of a childhood activity to be really worth your time? Do you need to make a commitment to yourself? I'm going to play more in these specific ways, with these specific people on these specific times. Do you need to stick it straight into your diary? Do you need to give yourself permission to explore this? Do you need to say, I'm willing to change my mind about play. I've misunderstood myself and I've become too limited, and I actually want to refine the joy and the creativity that comes with the ways that I am made to play. And maybe do you need to make that commitment verbal to somebody else? Tell a partner, a trusted friend, or a counsellor or a therapist, I'm going to find more ways to play. Ask me in a month what I've done about play. In the last section of Healthy and Whole, we're going to look at a model that I call the 4 drives. It's a way of understanding your own inner motivation. And I'm really wanting you to connect that, your personal drive, to the ideas and opportunities you have to develop now, so that you can find a way to make play a naturally motivational thing in your life. But right now we're going to move on to the next segment of the wellness sphere, which is give.